Hello.
Hey, Cass. Hey, Cat Eyes. Hey, Written in the Stars. Hey, Mrs. Muddick. I think Cass is freezing and her mic is muted. I think she's ignoring us. Cass, you're muted. Cass, you here?
Well, hello. I'm here. I can hear.
Hey, Jess.
Hello.
Elisa.
Yeah.
Well, Chisme's having difficulties and we're waiting for Iconic. Right, Cat Eyes, with those red lipsticks? Yep. I think she's going to try to kiss somebody.
Mwah.
Mm-hmm.
Kiss to everybody.
Hey, Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Mrs. Murdoch. Jess. Good to see ya. Good to see everybody. All right, the
Cass is
two.
pretty.
Oh, please. I'll tell you, I don't know why I put my glasses on. I can see. Jess, hello, everyone driving from door dashing. Woohoo! You drive safe, please.
Okay, Jess, be careful. I started doing that too.
Yes,
But I live in
indeed.
such a desolate area that I have to drive 15 miles just to get into the zone to deliver. Okay, well, we're going to, I mean, Iconic will be here, but woo! I guess we're going to wrap up the horrific Cassidy Rainwater case.
Yeah, it's
Do you
just
guys remember the Cassidy Rainwater case?
something I'll never forget. I think those images are forever burned into my eyeballs.
Yeah, we dug so deep into that case that, and now that we have new information, right, Heather? Oh my gosh, text messages, and I mean, there's definitely another picture that,
Jennifer,
Kaz.
Jennifer, you know, oh wow, sweetheart. Ma, to? Would you like to tell Jennifer what the Cassidy Rainwater is all about, or would you like me to?
Well, you can give the recap.
Okay.
Yeah, it will come. It will sound nicer coming from your accent, and you know me. I just like it took me 5 hours to even look at the photo that we
Okay.
got. So I think you should.
All right. Cassidy Rainwater was a beautiful young lady, beautiful blonde, who unfortunately came across two evil men called Tim Norton and James Phelps. Unbeknownst to her, they were cannibals. Yes, I did say the word cannibals. And not that kind of photo. We're not, that's her beautiful face. That's Cassidy. Um, they tortured this poor girl, then they murdered her, dismembered her, and unfortunately devoured some of her.
Yeah, there's a
And
whole a lot more to it. We're going to read the new
Yeah.
affidavit that came out because
Yeah.
they finished court a couple of months ago, so now they're both serving life in prison. But Tim
Yeah.
Norton decided to tell the FBI everything that they did to her that we questioned, and we are definitely now 1000% convinced that not only that, but they had her in, they had meat hooks in the bathroom, they had a deer gantry in the yard, they kept her in a cage. They had her flesh in the freezer with her name and the date on it. They actually buried her on the property next door, which belonged to her grandfather.
Yeah.
Whatever was left of her, excuse me. And the word they're using is desecrating. Is that the word?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Jess, that's awesome news. You and Monkey have got a house and you're moving in. Oh, that's brilliant news, darling. Congratulations. Ma's going to be so jealous.
I'm jealous.
See, I told you.
Oh, is that a little hamster? How cute.
Oh, Heather, that's a cute photo.
Yeah, we'll give let's give Iiconic a couple more minutes. She's dealing with a few things in real life.
Yeah,
but you know what? Let's go back to the video. Let's go back. I just have that one part.
Okay.
Because I have to wonder if this was Cassidy that day and Stephen did something different that day. Could he have saved her? I mean, I know it's a what if and all of that, but still. So I'm going to show you a video of the neighbor, Stephen Costanza, something like that. He's got a YouTube channel. He's like a big golfer. And he sees this right next to him. And right next to him, hang on, happens to be James Phelps's house where Cassidy Rainwater was.
It was.
I have to share my whole screen for this because you won't get the volume.
Kick me off.
So let me start this. This is 8 minutes long, guys. So he filmed this just about, I think it was Cass, a couple of days before they went in and the tripwire went off?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get into the tripwire later because we found out exactly what kind of little device they used and how it was set off. All right, here we go. Hang on, let me mute, guys, and go back because I have to...
Yes, Shredder, that's me. Oh, Patty, I'm sorry you're sick, darling. Get well soon, darling. There's no volume, sweater. To you too, Shredder. Oh, good, Jess. Good to hear. Mom, we can't hear anything on the video, darling.
Would you say you can't hear it?
Yep, can't hear anything.
What?
And I'm not good at reading lips.
How is that? I got share audio on. Entire screen. Let's try it again. Okay, just tell me if you can hear it, yes or no, when it starts. That's weird.
It's just weird knowing that just this guy that was living right around here was just hunting people.
Do you hear it?
Sure do.
Okay, here we go. Sorry, guys.
Are you spooling now? Ma. You. Talk to me, woman. Sweetheart. We've lost her. See, that's what you get for living up in the north.
Oh, I hate people down there.
Now listen carefully, Brian.
Welcome back to another Stephen Case video. I haven't been to the horse track in a long time, and the first video back is a wild one. As you guys know, back in July, you guys remember the people came up to me, they were whistling, the woman was screaming, the guy, Scott, came up the river, and all this crazy stuff was happening. I don't know if you guys see, he's up there. Is that a ghost or is that a human?
Oh my gosh.
Then, not even a couple weeks, like a couple days later, the horse track was get flown over by the FBI because of the marijuana or whatever in the back 5 acres that I have. And then about a month and a half later, I come back down here. Before we get into it, let's try to get to, we're at 193,000 subscribers, almost at 94, almost at 200.
Hang on, guys.
We'll take it. Garrett wants to come down, so that'll be good. All right. Stayed throughout all of our rainy season, so we have a good.
So, Kaz, they saw the girl, right?
Yeah, but she wasn't blonde like Cassidy was. She was dark haired.
No, I think she is blonde. I got a still picture of it. But let's go by when he drives by the
road, which is really good.
Farm.
As you can see, we have.
And we'll go back and watch that one more time. Here we go. Watch.
All right, we're not. Here's the deal. I could do what I want, but I'm living next to my grandparents. It's kind of weird. I'm not even gonna lie.
Let me go back so they can hear what he's saying about the people. James Phelps' house. Here we go.
Living next to my grandparents. It's kind of weird. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know. This is just a weird investigation that's still went on. News reporter Steve. All right, boys. Well, update number 2. Supposedly they have cleared the scene. Right now they're saying nothing. There's nothing been found. Nothing. Even though I know this is gonna be one of the biggest things. This is gonna be all over everything. This is weird, demonic. I don't know what it is, but it's crazy. It's disgusting, and we're coming up on it right now. I'm actually getting scared. My parents talked to the cops and they're like, yeah, you don't want to be here at night. It's very scary. Like, oh, that's where everything's been found.
Okay,
at this
here
little
we go.
tiny house. Look at the rusty Ford. The FBI been down here. You think
The good old Jeepers Creepers car.
you're telling me that little?
So this is the property.
Yeah.
That she was found on. And it just so happens that girl's screaming. And if we're going to go back to her, she's got blonde hair. If you really look, and she's bending over, and then she stands up and she goes off into the woods. What if it was Cassidy, though?
This is about Cassidy Rainwater, the one that we're just talking about, cat's eyes.
Yeah, this is where she was kept. She was kept outside in a cage.
Yes.
Tiny house is where this man. I thought I saw a face. I legit. Look at that. They took out. You guys can't see that, but they took out freezers. Look at all those freezers just sitting
Look at all the freezers that are sitting there.
there. Man, I'd pay to drive down there right now. But from the cop, he's like, yeah, there's going to be ghost hunters out here. So that makes me think that it was possibly, I don't know. The guy was shook.
Let me just say this. Remember that this place burnt to the ground. So this was before the tripwire went off and singed that whole entire property to the ground, and right after she was found, or she went missing. This what was the date exactly again? It was, hang on one, it was 2021.
Yeah, it was during the height of COVID.
Yeah, it was in 2021. We'll get into that in a second, though. But this one, so see, it was before this. This place literally burnt to the ground.
Been released yet? And if you were to take a direct line and walk that way, in probably 15 minutes you could be at the horse track. You could walk onto the horse track. This is just before everything else, but that's going to be all over the news. It's going to be big, like on national news.
Oh, I hear people down there.
All right.
I don't know if you guys see it up there. Is that a ghost or is that a human?
Let's go help.
Oh, she does have dark hair. That's creepy.
Yeah.
Okay, so my question is, who is that girl?
Exactly.
Huh.
Exactly. Hi, Lilac Flores. How are you, sweetheart? Exactly. Who is that dark-haired person?
Okay, so let me just do a recap on the story, Cass, and then if you want to pull up those text messages.
Sure.
Okay, 1 second. Yeah, Norton was singing like a little canary. This is a crazy story.
Yeah,
And this
during that
word.
time.
So this is out in May. I know it's a couple months late, but Missouri man pleads to evisceration and dismemberment, murder of woman photographed in cage and bound to a gantry crane commonly used for deer. A 60-year-old man in Missouri, that's James Phelps right there, will spend the rest of his days behind the bars for killing, eviscerating, and dismembering a 33-year-old woman who was also photographed in a cage and bound to a gantry crane. Dallas County Judge Jill Porter on Friday sentenced James Davis Phelps to life in prison without the possibility of parole after he entered an Alford plea to one count of first-degree murder in the brutal 2021 slaying of Cassidy Rainwater. So it's functionally equivalent to a guilty plea in that it results in a conviction, but it allows a defendant to maintain their claim of innocence while conceding that the state has sufficient evidence to convict them. Phelps' alleged co-defendant, Timothy Leroy Norton, has pleaded not guilty to charges of first-degree murder, kidnapping, and abandonment of a corpse. He is awaiting trial, and he got life in prison without the possibility of parole, too. So she was July 2021 and first reported missing in August. Investigators were able to track one of her last known locations at Phelps' home, located in the 300 block of Moon Valley, which we just drove by, in Lebanon, 170 miles southeast of Kansas City. When speaking to Dallas County Sheriff's Office, detectives regarding Rainwater's whereabouts in September of 2021, Phelps initially said that she had been staying with him until she got back on her feet, but had left in the middle of the night about a month before, according to the probable cause affidavit. I have this affidavit actually, but I'm just going to read this. So that a break came in the case with an online tipster provided the FBI with several disturbing photographs. Guys, this is a trigger warning right here. That appeared to show Rainwater's harrowing death, including the gruesome aftermath. The photos depicted a partially clothed female in a cage who we recognize as Cassidy. The other photos depicted Cassidy's body bound to a gantry crane, commonly used for deer processing and her evisceration and dismemberment. Investigators executed a search warrant on Phelps's property and recovered physical evidence, including the gantry device, a cage, and items from the freezer that appeared to be trigger warning, human flesh with a date written on them, 7/24. The sheriff's office said skeletal remains, later confirmed to be Rainwater, were located at the home next door, which is her grandfather. Investigators also recovered digital evidence from electronic devices that authorities say included text message conversations between Phelps and Norton in which they planned Rainwater's murder. The two were arrested and charged in connection with Rainwater's death. Norton told the FBI agents that Phelps had him come over while Cassidy was sleeping in the living room floor, so he had easy access to attack her. Norton stated after entering the house, he held Cassidy's legs down while Phelps strangled her and placed a bag over her head. Norton stated that Phelps bound her to the gantry crane and began to eviscerate and dismember of Cassidy's body. Norton stated he and Phelps carried Cassidy into the house and placed her in the bathtub. Now, we all know that in the bathtub, he also had meat hooks. Phelps' home in October 2021 burned down while both he and Norton were in custody. Investigators said that the fire was an act of arson caused by an incendiary device in a motor tube with a tripwire attached to it. And they're both serving life in prison. Let me show them what Tim Norton looks like. Let me pull up these two beauties. Scary. It's almost like they made a wrong turn type of characters. Hey, Lilac. Hey, Aquarium Baby. Sorry, guys. Hey, Shredder. I couldn't see chat with the article up. Can you imagine what that poor girl went through?
Unbelievable.
This is probably one of the horrific ones that I've ever. Look at these two guys. Look at that face. Tim Norton on the left and good old James Phelps on the right. So Iiconic, which she never came back, she has, I guess, real life got the best of her. She sent us over. She's actually been in contact with a very close friend of Cassidy Rainwater's family. But she sent us over some messages. But I'm telling you guys right now that this is absolutely a trigger warning. Like, if you can't handle any Hannibal Lecter and cannibal, you need to leave, because we think we have a picture of a human steak, but we're not sure who it is.
Yeah. But it doesn't look, I mean, it just looks like a steak.
Yeah, it just looks like a meal with some little beans. I think it might even be flava beans. I mean, I really hope they're not flava beans, but oh gosh, I just thought of that, Kaz.
Yeah, it just looks like, meat and two veg.
It's a scary story, Aquarium Baby, because not only that, but they knew her. I mean, she was like a friend that they took her in to get her off of their feet. There was another rumor that when the cops broke down the door on that search warrant, that they were eating ribs. Now, I don't know. Hold on, Kat, because we're going to wrap it up after this. I don't know if any of you remember this story, but there was a mother and two girls
Yeah.
And this is an hour south of Echo Lloyd, but I don't think they have anything to do with Echo Lloyd.
No.
But what was the name of those girls, Kaz?
Oh, it's on the
Shit.
tip. It was.
I got their
It
picture.
was. Oh.
Do you guys remember the story of the mother and her daughter and the daughter's friend that disappeared in Missouri, and they were in a van?
Yeah, they were in a combi van.
These ladies right here. Well, on the property of James
Springfield
Phelps.
3. It was a Springfield 3.
Springfield 3. That's right, Kaz. That's what they were. This is a long time ago.
Yeah.
But they actually found a van on Phelps's property that resembled the van, and you can see it in some of the pictures that we had, that these girls were last seen in.
Yeah.
And it was a mother, her daughter, and the daughter's friends. Yes, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Hey, Stephanie.
Yeah, it was Susie Streeter, Stacy McCall, and Cheryl Levitt. And they went missing from Cheryl Levitt's home in Springfield, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
And all
And
their
remember,
all their personal belongings, including cars and purses, were left behind. There was no signs of a struggle except for a broken porch light globe. There was also a message on the answering machine that police believe might have provided a clue about the disappearances, but it was inadvertently erased. In 1997, Robert Craig Cox, a convicted kidnapper and robber, claimed that he knew the women had been murdered and their bodies would never be recovered. Neither of their whereabouts nor their remains have ever been discovered, and no
absolutely.
investigators in the case believe Cox has any credibility, though. So it's over 31 years ago. It happened in June 7th, back in
That's
92.
right. That's right. And remember how long that property has been in the family with Cassidy Rainwater's grandfather and James Phelps. And let's not forget the most important. Do you remember what we always said before any of this information came out, where you're about to read the messages? Norton was a truck driver. That's what he did for a living.
Yeah, he sure was.
Like, drove across the country to kind of big semi truck driver. And I honestly, at the end of the day, that couldn't have been the first time that they decided to. I mean, they had all the tools. It wasn't like, hey, let's go buy some, unless they're deer hunters. And I don't know if Phelps is a deer hunter. I could probably go look and see if he ever pulled a deer hunting license with game and fish. But who has hooks in their bathtub, cages in their yard, and a gantry hook in the yard, and tripwires to set the place off to blow up when the police come?
Yeah.
And all those abandoned vehicles in that yard.
Oh, they're trying to get rid of evidence, weren't they? No, Shredder, I hadn't heard that the sentence had been postponed.
Yeah,
All right.
I don't know what that's about. They should just go ahead and sentence them. Okay, so now Kaz will explain. I wish Iiconic was here to explain them too, but these are messages that guys, this is very disturbing.
All right, I'll do the messages first, and then I'll show the other photos. All right, thing 5. Let me just share my screen.
Yeah, I do not believe that Cassidy was the only one. And to think about it, this was an hour and a half south of where Echo Lloyd went missing. And then you've got this weirdo, a friend of theirs, right in the middle. I forget his name. I'll have to show you his picture when Kaz is done.
All right. So this first message is between Tim Norton and James Phelps in November 4th, 2020. And it
And
says
remember, she went missing in August of 2021. So this is
prior
3.
to it. Yeah.
So this is 8, 11. Yeah, this is a while before Cassidy went missing.
Yeah.
No way.
So Phelps says, "How's it going?" And Norton says, "Not too bad. Made it to Utah and back to Illinois. So far without any incident, lol." And then Phelps says, "That's good. You need, well, my mouth's not working."
This answered everything that I said, Kaz, from day one. This text message to me sealed everything that we spoke about, that there is no way. I'm telling you, this guy has picked up other women and brought him to the truck.
Totally.
We thought this from day when we found out he was a truck driver through the States. We were just like, we started going on his route, and we found missing girls that were murdered. And there was a few. We dug so deep in this case, guys. Iiconic and Kaz were brain dead.
We were.
Even the Heidi Plank case was just as big of a deep dive, but this was a scary. I mean, Iiconic and I were in the dark web. It was just we dug so deep that I was lost in the big black dark web.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, Kat. Let me shut up.
Let
me get my tape.
Yeah. And Phelps said, "That is good. You need to find me a girl and bring her to me." And Norton says, "Why? And do you really want me dead?" ? And Phelps says, "Not until you get her here." All right. And then the next one.
Wait. Do you really want her dead?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, and so we know that Cassidy did not show up there until a month before she disappeared. And this was going on, what was it, November of 2020?
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 months shy of a year from when Cassidy was found. So who are they? So what girls is Tim Norton picking up at the truck stops and bringing home?
Well, that's a good question, darling.
They should have excavated that hole. They should have dug that whole entire property up.
Oh, I'm quite sure they would have found something else. Okay, and the next one. The next text message is...
Oh, Aquarium. We did videos on this. If you want to go back, we went all through that neighborhood looking for women that were missing at this time, and there's definitely a few of them.
This is an earlier message, November 27th, 2019. So we're going further back. So this is showing of their intentions even back in 2019. Phelps, it starts off with Norton. Norton says,
sorry, Kaz. I love Lilac's comments. Even her comments under the videos. It's almost like a innocent, sweet, but she's telling people that they're kind of like, it's kind of like a nice big F in the way, like a nice middle finger comments. They're like real sweet and like nice. And are you serious? Yeah, I'm serious.
Oh, thanks.
Suicide by cop. So what was going on at this time that they're planning this? Like, did they have another girl that they were afraid might have escaped or get away, and they had to cover? Or if the cop was going to show up, we're just going to have.
Well, on the last message, it will give you a hint. All right. So it's Norton says, "I'm done, ready to quit. Death by cop sounds good right now." And Phelps says, "What happened?" And Norton says, "It's just everything, brother, just everything." And Phelps says, "Know how that goes?" And Phelps says, "Hey, when you go back to the cabin, can you see if Amanda's court papers are still there?" So who is Amanda? His ex?
No, I have a paper on the wife's name. We're going to go look at his court papers in a second. His wife.
Who's Amanda?
I don't know, but did you know what else stood out to me? Remember that Norton said, we know he was living there. He claimed that he wasn't, but we found all the addresses connecting him years back to that Moon Highway. Yeah. Not to mention him. Let me look at my Cassidy Rainwater folder. because there's another one that's involved in this, and I know for a fact that this one's involved also, but I can't remember his name. But here's the picture. Now, this guy lives in between. He's still out on the streets, in between Echo Lloyd and the cannibal farm. Do you remember him, Kaz, this scary man that we believe set off the tripwire to the fire?
Yeah.
This is the third player that I believe.
Hi, Stephanie.
Interesting, Stephanie. Yeah, but this is another ring right here. This is a cannibal ring. And you see this guy, the third musketeer that's involved here? I'm convinced that this man right here is the one that somehow set off that tripwire. He was the man out that if anything happened, you need to go clean the scene.
Mm.
And he's still walking the streets.
He is. Although we haven't looked lately, have we?
No, but I think the Lebanon Police Department's dirty. I think they might even be part of it. I think it's definitely like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre wrong turn type of family deal. It's a creepy thing going on in that area.
All right, so these next two photographs, the first one I'm going to show you is where they actually, how can I say this without being too graphic? This is where they strung her up. They strung her up. This is where they would normally put a deer when they're going to butcher a deer. So
she keeps putting her glasses on, and she had LASIK surgery, guys.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting.
Wait a second. What was the girl's name with the court papers?
Amanda.
Okay, Angela. Okay, Amanda.
No, Amanda. Not Angela. Amanda.
Charles Manson cult. We're going to have to see about who that Amanda is. Maybe we'll have to do some looking and see if there was an Amanda in that area that was ever reported missing or something.
Yeah, because why would he be asking if Amanda's court papers were still at the cabin?
But you know what I caught out of that? When you go back to the cabin, check and see if Amanda's court papers are there. When you go back. Well, where was he at?
Well, he may have been working.
I don't know. That wording's kind of when you go back, meaning that maybe they weren't really staying there.
Possibly.
Oh, it sure does, Jess. It goes deeper. I think that the reason why they haven't dug up that whole entire backyard is because I think somehow that even the comments that the sheriff made, and he tried to cover the fact that there was even cannibalism going on. I totally believe that he's part of the ring.
They did find other remains other than Cassidy's, but they didn't know whose they were from memory. Although, my memory's not as sharp as it used to be. All right, let me show you this one. Okay, this is the gantry crane allegedly used in the murder of Cassidy. So it looks like a hangsman's noose, but this is what in the background, that's the cabin.
I'm going to show you guys pictures of the aftermath of this cabin burnt down with a burnt cage.
Yeah, aquarium baby, they definitely were.
Be right back, guys. I got to use the little girl's room.
Okay, darling. Yeah, they definitely were. You would be, you may or not be shocked, but there is actually people out there that buy human meats on the black market, and it's more prevalent than one would think, which is sickening to me. Absolutely sickening. But yeah, that is, it's out in the open. It's out in the front yard. It's not hidden. that's what blew me when I first saw the first picture of this. They weren't hiding it. So, and the road that it's actually on, it's not desolate by any stretch of the imagination. There is houses down this road beside the cabin. I'm surprised somebody didn't see it. Oh my God, really? At Aquarium Baby? They sell it in New York and LA has a restaurant? Oh my goodness gracious me. I mean, I haven't, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon here and I haven't eaten anything since 4 o'clock this morning, so my tummy's rumbling, so that's just turned me off. That's just turned me off. Yeah, so that's the gantry crane.
Okay. Yeah, there's definitely some shady stuff going on.
Jess, I'll have to, my messenger is locked off, as is my Facebook, so I'll have to open it, and then you'll be able to find me again. That's why you can't find me, sweetheart.
All right, so what is the last one more message?
Okay, so I'll just stop sharing, and this is the one that is showing the meat and 2 veg.
Trigger warning.
Trigger warning, guys. Here we go.
We don't know if that's what it is, but that's what it's supposed to be.
Okay, so
Trigger warning.
Okay, so
I can't.
So that is the plate. That it looks to me just like a piece of fillet steak with peas. It looks actually like peas, Ma. Green peas and mashed potato.
Fava beans. Yeah, hopefully that's just really a regular ribeye steak.
Yeah, me too.
I don't
On a
know. I
paper
mean, we
plate.
know what they found in the freezer. I mean, you can't make it up. You can't lie about reports that state that in the freezer was
Oh
found.
yes, I know. I know. I so know. I know what was on there. Okay, that's enough of that.
Total of cannibals.
Yeah.
That's why their skin is that color. Like they're
I'm
just.
glad I'm not having steak for dinner tonight.
You what?
Ugh.
Oh, you're having steak tonight?
No. I'm having
Oh, come
lasagna.
on. You don't want to have. Lilac says that's burnt flesh.
Oh.
Crazy.
No, thanks. No, thank you.
Okay, let me show you
I
what
don't eat a lot
happened.
of red meat.
The aftermath of this cabin. Let me share my whole screen so I can just flip through them.
Jess, I'm going to open up my Facebook account so you can find me. And then when you find me, I can lock it down again.
There is the aftermath. And notice how those logs didn't burn. Like that was like such an area that they just knew what to. And all three of the areas were burnt. And here's the cage where they kept her in. Outside in the yard. And then here's the van. There's a lot of vehicles on the property.
Yeah,
I really think.
Yeah, that's the combi van. Yeah.
Yep. But everything is now on fire. Like they torched, and the way they torched it, I wonder if I can find that one picture. Hang on. They torched like 3 areas. It was weird how they singed it. Rake has?
Yeah.
It was like just 3 areas were singed. Here's, his wife's name. That's right. Let me see what his wife's name is. I think it's Pamela or something. That's James Phelps and his wife.
Ooh.
I wonder if she's a cannibal. But he was a lot younger there. Okay, let me look at one more thing. Yeah, sentenced to life, but he had some civil judgments, and it had his wife's name. Porter Joe. Oh, here we go. Docket entries. Yeah, it had his divorce in here, but I don't know what her name is. He definitely has a record.
Oh, he sure does.
Life in prison without parole. But where's the one from the... Yeah, he had 2 pages, and his wife's name was on one of them. I thought it was civil judgments. Anyways, that's the end of their story. That's a horrible... I mean, poor Cassidy, to think that these people are helping you to get on your feet, and meanwhile, I can't even imagine what she went through.
All right, you can find me now, Jess.
From the cannibal farm. Oh, from this one right here on Moon? I cannot. And then at the end of that road, they have all of those, like a big abandoned car field. Remember, Kaz?
Oh, yeah.
Just like all those empty, rusted out cars.
Yeah. It was, I mean, as you turn into that road on the left-hand side, oh God, it's all coming back. It's like a car graveyard, and it's just...
But who was the lady yelling on the property? Is that Amanda? We got to figure out who Amanda is.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that again.
I mean, he was telling Tim to bring him home a girl back in November of 2021. No, 2020. Oh my gosh.
No, 2019, they wanted to know if Amanda's court papers were still in the cabin, so...
And asking him to bring him home a girl, and asking him if he wanted her dead.
And he said no, not until you bring him to the cabin. So he wanted the pleasure of...
Yes, we have access to it's like Truth Finder, but it's another site.
Yeah. Truth Finder is so darn expensive to utilize. Mara and I found just as good one to use.
That's insanity.
Truth Finder.
Yeah. I'm never driving through Missouri. I'm sorry, but James Phelps is a scary man.
You're not wrong. I can't believe there's restaurants in New York and LA that actually sell human flesh.
Yeah, you know what? We should call up there and ask them how come they never... that you can't possibly ever think that that's only one person that they did this to.
I suppose they've got to have the... I mean, I totally agree with you, but I suppose to be able to take it all the way to, grand jury and get a conviction, they've got to have proof. Stephanie says it's not safe in Missouri. Apparently not.
Yeah, it's sad. That's just scary.
Apparently not.
But they never even talked about, like, any other people. I mean, did anyone even ask if there could be, possibly be any other victims? They kind of just shush-mouthed it and let it go.
Jess, it's Blackmore. Black and More.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the DNA on the meat, Nikki, I don't know. The court date, the final court was 2 months ago. And Cassidy was found, like she was, when they found her, unfortunately, she was just skeletal remains.
Yeah, she was.
Very sad.
Hi,
That's a horrific
Nikki.
story. But that third guy, too, I'm going to see what his name is and see if he's been in trouble. They did, Stephanie. They went quiet all at once. And I remember commenting on the sheriff's. He denied it. He denied that there was any weirdness going on out there.
Yeah, I know.
Something about him bothered me. He denied it. But no, there was definitely, that was not normal behavior with meat hooks, gantries, and cages. I'm sorry, but I don't think so.
And then when they went into the freezer and saw the meat labeled, I mean, please, hello, wake up.
There was a rumor that they were eating ribs when the police kicked down the door, and I thought Phelps said he was eating the neighbor's ribs.
Oh.
I don't know, Aquarian baby. They closed mouthed it. The sheriff was quiet about it. I was saying that with those comments, Stephanie, that it's got to be so big that the law enforcement knows what's going on.
Yeah, because like I was saying, when you were went to powder your nose, so to speak, that gantry was in the front yard. The cage was in the front yard. That road has people living on it besides Phelps, as we
Not
know.
a lot, though. Let me go back and see if I still have it in my Google history. What was it? Moon what road?
Moon
Valley Road.
Moon Valley.
386 Moon Valley Road.
Yeah. Because remember, we went down the road, and when we started,
you can't go down this road. No, you can't. No, Kaz, you can't go down this road. We can get to the end of the road.
No, I know, but when we looked into who lived on that road, it was people related to each other on that road.
Yes. This is it. This is where the property is. And then down here is the abandoned car lot.
Yeah.
So really, I mean, there's the trailer park here, and somebody lived in that park that we found that was related to them somehow. Remember? I can't remember now what it was. I got to go back and look.
Yeah, because we zoomed in on the letterboxes.
And then the only other house where somebody lived was right here. And we know all about the people that lived there, but I just can't remember who it was.
Well, you got the black rights, yes.
And then
just needed more. Phelps. More, not WELL.
And that's the Phelps compound. So really, Kaz, there's not too much around there.
Yeah, I got you, Jess.
Like, you can't get on this road.
No.
It takes you right to that intersection. State Highway. And that's the road right there. Scary. And there's the abandoned car lot. What, June 2023? Oh, these are later dates. Look at this, Kaz.
Oh, it's been a while since we've looked at the letterboxes.
Right. That says, remember we got the name off the mailbox and then we did a search on it?
Yeah. Yep.
3 mailboxes down that road, and I guarantee you one of those goes to the Cannibal Farm. But this one, I think it was Franklin. Yeah, Franklin. And something else at the bottom. I can see TNISTLE. STN something maybe. But that's the road right there.
Yeah.
And then we were also looking at, oh, there was a sign. It was Betty House or something. What was that? This one. Yeah, we looked at all of this, guys.
Oh, yeah, we sure did.
But look at that. Yeah, there's not too much going on here, Kaz.
No, but there, as you go down that road, there's properties on the right-hand side from memory. That
Yeah, it's right here. It's the first property on the right. And then you have all of this space until you get in the middle of nowhere right there to the cannibal farm.
Yeah.
And look, it's burnt down.
Oh, you can actually see it burnt down now.
So you see, guys, what we're talking about? They burnt down 3 sections. They burnt here, and they burnt, like it was like here or one more section. Completely on a tripwire. And look at that road that you have to take coming onto the cannibal farm. Yeah, Cash, you could probably scream in the middle of the night and nobody would hear her.
Mm.
Look at how far it is from that next property, which is right here. So just like a short little measure, you're looking at, I don't know. It's a distance. I'm blind. 3.7 something thousand. Yeah. But it's a distance. And that's creepy as hell. I'm glad they burnt it down to the ground.
Mm.
Really? We're going to have to look into that, Stephanie. You know, the FBI doesn't just show up. They have to be called into the case. So obviously they didn't call them in because that whole entire backyard probably would have been dug up.
Yeah.
But
unless the only reason they come into it is if it becomes a federal case. If it crosses.
yes. Yeah, but they also have to be invited. Like a case like this, they would have to invite the FBI to come in. You know?
Mm.
Like the FBI just can't show up on a case if it's not a federal back thing. But now if it's a state case and they need help, then the FBI has to literally be asked to come onto the case.
Oh yeah. I'm just saying, if it was a federal case, it wouldn't be a problem. But if it's a state case, yes, I totally agree.
But we're gonna have to look into that, Amanda
Yeah.
Hammond, because that's just weird.
Yeah.
Maybe we should ask the FBI why they never went over here and dug up the cannibal boneyard. I hate to say it like that, but there's no way that Cassidy was the first one.
No, I don't think so either. Not in a monkey's fit. Not in a monkey's.
Angela Hammond and Cheryl Kenny. Actually, Cheryl Kenny might be one of the ones that we've looked into. That name sounds familiar to me. There was like 4 or 5 women that we looked into in that area that were missing that somehow were around these 2 cannibals. The police have to know. We've said this from day one, that Norton was picking up women in different states so that you couldn't make the connection across the counties or the state lines. And she's definitely was not the first one, in my opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally.
That's a horrific story. But I think that's it, Kazaroo.
Yes, my darling.
I am vegetarian now. I don't blame you, Lilac.
Yeah, me too.
All right, everyone, thank you for coming in. We'll see how next week goes. We'll see how it goes. If I'm capable of pulling it off. All right, everyone. Have a good night, guys, and stay vigilant. Kaz, thank you for coming in.
Oh, it's always a pleasure, my darling.
Oh, thank you. Everyone, be safe out there, guys, and hug your babies tighter.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going on a vegan kick too after that. Like, I don't even like, I'll never be able to eat steak again and wonder about that picture, if that's really steak or if that's like, I can't. All right. Bye, guys.
Good night, everybody.